Welcome to video number 3. In this video we're going to review the material and information status screen. We're going to review production results as jobs finish throughout the day in real time. And also we're going to look at the hours late screen as well as the backlog by machine screen. This is the material and information status screen. And if you'll recall from the last video, when we entered a Y in that one column that said we had the material, that Y is then transferred into these columns that we see here for all 30 machines so that we can quickly look at whether or not material is available for all the machines. We can view all 30 machines and look for cells that are not green with a Y in them. And it just goes all 30 of our machines. There's nothing in any of these because I haven't scheduled anything, but you can see how easy it is to look for gaps where you don't have material that's ready to be sent to that particular machine at that particular start time. One thing that we want to make sure you understand is as jobs run faster and slower than quoted, these times are going to change. So throughout the day, this job, maybe because it's the first one in the morning, it'll start on time. From there on out though, as jobs move faster and slower than quoted or routed, these times are going to change throughout the day and throughout time because there's 300 different jobs you can have in here. And they show the part numbers, the start times, and whether or not we have material. So that's basically for the material control personnel to view and the plant managers, just to look for gaps to make sure that we're on schedule and everybody knows where material is supposed to be and when it's supposed to be there. This is this production schedules. It's now telling us that today's shipments are going to be $18,000. We haven't started our shift yet, so it's telling us that our labor efficiency, according to our quotes or routings, we're at 100% because we haven't had anything go faster than normal or slower than normal yet. At the same time, it's telling us that based on the quotes that we've done in the past on the part numbers that we've scheduled to run $2,780 worth of planned labor cost. And so far we have $796 worth of planned overproduction material cost and $16.50 worth of planned overproduction labor cost. So basically we've got $812.50 worth of additional costs over and above what we need to satisfy customer demand. If we were to do that each and every day for a month, on a 22 working day month, we would have $17,875 worth of extra expenses due to overproduction, or per year $214,500. This QGM column is your quoted gross margin percentage. So as we quoted jobs, if you recall, we could say that this job we wanted a 25%, 30%, 35%. Whatever you choose, it's going to let you know what your gross margin is from your quote. And basically as the day goes on, you look, you can scroll down, you see here we're at the saw number 1, then we scroll down to machine number 2, and so on and so forth, okay? And you can scroll up and down and you can look at each job and see what your additional costs or efficiencies were as we move along. So we're going to go ahead now and report some data. And it's very simple. When we report data, we have an option for a job to go longer than planned, faster than planned, and then our problem codes for why did it go faster or slower, how many defects did we have, and what were the problem codes for the defects. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and put some, we would say we went 10 minutes over on that one, we'll go 5 minutes under on this one. We'll say we had one defect here. We'll say that it was a setup issue. Okay, and so as you get information from the shop floor, we're just going to enter it in these cells. And then when we do that, we're also going to note that that process is finished. So based on that, let's go back to the production schedule screen and look at what's happened with our costs. We see that we've gone, our minimum efficiency to quota routing is 86.67 and our maximum is 107.14. And if we want to look down here, we can want to see why that was. Here's our numbers. And then we can scroll back and we have all of the information that we just put in with problem codes and everything we can look at. You can go all the way back. We've got the operator who's running the machine. We know that we had overproduction. We look at that cost now, and we see that our costs now have gone to $825.71, and these have been added to the cost. And as the day progresses and more jobs are completed, more information that you receive. So as the day progresses, we see that our minimum efficiency to quotes or routings has dropped to 69, and our max has gone up to 109. So that's the spread. I don't like to use averages on efficiency because it really doesn't tell you all that much. You really want to know is where are your problems, and here's your problems, and here's your successes, which may turn into problems because maybe you've overpriced your product and a competitor can come in and take it away from you if you're not careful. So let's look at the cost then as the day has progressed. And we see now that with our overproduction and our inefficiencies and efficiencies, our new totals have jumped to $911, and that's just on machine 1. We haven't, scheduled the rest of the 30 machines or put any of the daily impact in there just for this video. And you can see based on that, if every day ran like this, this is what our unexpected costs would be. Now in the event that you have your operation, if you overproduce, you can ship those products, so you really don't ever have overproduction. Put in this cell off, and it takes that out. Okay, so all your overproduction costs, labor costs, material costs go away, and you can see the drastic effect of overproduction because we were in the big numbers up here, and now it's down to a manageable level. So overproduction is a big factor in how your operation performs. This is the hours late alarm, and basically what this does is this has all of your 30 machines. As you can see here, this is machine 1, it's the saw, and as you scroll to the right, you have all 30 of your machines, and when you get down to the end, you have your shipping area, okay? And so basically what happens here is this gives us the opportunity to change the shipping date. To determine in the future, like 1 day out, 2 days out, what jobs may be in peril of a late shipment. It automatically, these cells will turn red if a job is late from a date perspective. Okay, so they'll automatically turn red on you. What we're trying to do is say, if today is the 11th and we want to see what potential problems are we going to have on the 12th, we just change this from 11 to 12, and we can look here. Every machine is going to say, well, it's going to light up yellow, and it's going to say, okay, this is potentially a problem. If they're complete, there'll be an X in this cell here, so you don't need to worry about those. And then you just go, you look and see here, you see there's a next operation. When this says 100, we know that's shipping, so that's the end of the line for the next operation. But we need to look at machine number 2. And we see that on the 12th, we're still okay with the shipping on the 12th there. And then we get into the next operation is 100, and we've got an actual ship date of the 13th. And so so basically what this is going to do is as you scroll along, it's going to let you look at jobs with a different ship date, moving that ship date up so that you can tell which ones are closest to becoming a potential problem. If we wanted to change the date and move out to say the 14th, then these are the jobs that would turn red. So in the event that today was the 14th, these jobs would be shipping late. That's pretty much how the hours late alarm works. And this is the hours. The numbers you see here in this column are the hours in a 24-hour clock. So that gives you some time perspective. The next screen we're going to look at is backlog by machine. And again, from the operation setup screen, all of our equipment's listed here. The next available start time and date for each of the 30 machines is in this column. how many jobs, the number of backlog of jobs for each machine is in this column. And of your quoted hours, you've got a backlog of quoted hours of 15.5, 14.92, and so on. And then how many shifts do you have backlogged? And what is the total percentage of this machine to the total backlog percentage? So in this particular case, you would see that the saw, machine number 1, has the greatest percentage of backlog in your operation. So if there's ever going to be a bottleneck at this point in time, that is your bottleneck process. Obviously, we haven't filled up the rest of the machines yet, so that might change. And it'll change on a day-by-day basis, but you'll start to see trends on what machines are your bottleneck machines or processes. In the next video, we're going to look at the outside vendor screen when we ship parts to outside vendors. We're going to look at the job history screen where we take all jobs when they're completed and they go into a job history screen where they can be sorted, and you can look at jobs over time and problem codes and how they relate to runtime problem codes and defects and quality problems. Then we're also going to look at the maintenance scheduling process that we have in order to schedule maintenance on a regular basis.